G'day everyone and welcome back to another live stream here at the Australian Reptile Park. Now my name's Dan and I'm the head reptile keeper here, and I'm very lucky because I get to work with some pretty amazing animals, whether it's Hugo the Galapagos tortoise or Elvis the saltwater crocodile. And today I'm going to be introducing you to our female Komodo dragon. Now her name is Daenerys, so she is the mother of dragons. So this is our much smaller Komodo dragon. We do have two Komodo dragons here at the Australian Reptile Park. Our really large one is Kraken. He's the male. Right now you're looking at our female Komodo. Her name's Daenerys and she weighs around 20 kilograms. Now Daenerys will be 8 years of age this year. She's not fully grown. At the moment she does weigh around 20 kilograms, and at her maximum weight she'll probably weigh anywhere between 30 and 40 kilograms. Now Kraken, our male Komodo dragon, already weighs over 40 kilograms. Now it's the male Komodo dragon that grows extremely large. A male Komodo dragon can reach a maximum weight of around 105, maybe 106 or 7 kilograms. They're the world's largest living lizard species. Now today we're going out on what we call our daily enrichment walk for our Komodo dragons. It's great for them. Exercise is key to keeping a healthy and fit Komodo. The Komodos in the wild might walk maybe a kilometre in a day, so we encourage that behaviour by taking our Komodos out in a walk throughout the park. Now I've also done something a little bit different today. Inside those brown boxes is some food. So right now we're going to watch a Komodo dragon figure out what's inside the box. She's followed her tongue straight over to the boxes immediately, and in each box there's 2 bits of food. So what we're going to watch now is the Komodo dragon, or Daenerys, start to figure out where the food is. Now you can see, look at that tongue flicking. It's going to continue to flick the entirety of the time. They're basically using those chemosensory skills. They stick out the forked tongue. They can then pick up scent particles. And right now she's literally tasting the air, and she knows that there is food somewhere around those boxes. Now sometimes they'll figure it out very quickly, but it does go to show you the intelligence of our monitor species. They're by far the most intelligent reptile species on the planet. All right, so here we go. Now she'll start to investigate. She might start to rip the box open. She'll probably stick her head straight in the box. She'll flip the boxes over. But this is really cool behavior to see. Now we do this all the time. We want to stimulate the Komodo dragons, particularly here at the park. So we provide them these kind of opportunities. Look at this. She's going to get her head right in there. Now this box was the easiest box of the lot, because I actually did have no bottom on the box. So she's figured it out. She found the food, and now she's got a box stuck on her head. There we go. We're going to get a really funny shot here. Hang on, I'll take it off. There we go. And there's the other piece of food, which she's found. Now see how gentle she is with the food. Now obviously that's because right now we're looking at an animal that's quite happy to predate on animals that are already dead. They're feeding on carrion, so dead animals. When you're feeding on a dead animal, obviously it's never going to be as frantic. So you could see how calmly she went after the food. She knows there's no competition for the food out in this environment. Let's see if she can figure out this second box as well. Now these next 2 boxes should be a little bit more difficult for the dragon. Now she's also picked up a leaf there. I have to remind her she's a carnivore, not a herbivore. Now Daenerys is 8 years old. Female Komodo dragons will live typically until they're in their 20, maybe 25 years of age. The males will live generally a little bit longer. Sometimes the males can reach a maximum age of around 40 kilograms. But this is just really cool behavior to watch. Just the way she's trying to figure things out. She's following that tongue. They've obviously got excellent eyesight as well. Here we go. Let's see if she can get in there. There we go. She's going to stick it on. This is just incredible to watch. She knows the food's there. She's got her head right in the box. And there we go. Perfect. Isn't that cool? She's not reacting to our movement right now. She's just solely focused on the food. It's amazing to think you can work with an animal that is potentially quite dangerous, but even with us surrounding her at the moment, as she feeds, she's super relaxed. She's not bothered by us in this kind of scenario one bit. All right, hang on. There you go, give you a hand. Here we go, come over. I'll make it a little bit easier for her. There we go, you probably get a good shot there. Inside the box again, grabbing the food. nice and gently. Now, Komodos will gorge feed, so at any point in time they might eat up to 20, 30, maybe 40% of their body weight. So they don't have to feed every single day. They don't have to feed anywhere near as regular as a mammal that weighs the same weight. You know, if you compare them to, say, a really large carnivore like a cat, like a tiger or a lion, a mammalian carnivore I should say, they have to eat every few days. A Komodo dragon this size, if she didn't eat now, for another, say, 6 months, she's probably not going to lose too much of her body condition at all. But I just love showing off this because it just shows the intelligence of the Komodo, and it shows the fact that even though I'm right here and I'm bigger than her, she still doesn't see me as a potential threat for the food. Now, she's probably thinking, what's she doing, sticking her head inside the box? She can still smell the meat, so she's probably looking for that last little bit of meat. It's actually over in that box behind you, Daenerys. I think you have to go that way. Now, Komodo dragons are not native to Australia. Once upon a time, we did have Komodo dragons here, and we had some really large goanna or varanid species, monitor species here in this country. Megalania or Varanus prisca was a giant big monitor lizard we used to have in our country. But we really are the land of the monitor. So whilst this particular species is native to Indonesia, in Australia we have over 30 species of varanid or monitor. Our smallest is only 20 centimetres long in Western Australia, the Dampier Peninsula monitor. Our largest is the parenti, which can grow extremely large, a couple of metres long and potentially may weigh 15 to 20 kilograms. Now, obviously that's nowhere near as large as a Komodo dragon. Now, Komodo dragons are native to Indonesia. Come in this way. Your food's here. Yeah, I'll help you out a little bit. There we go. Now, they are native to Indonesia, and there's a few islands that they are found on. The most famous one would be Komodo Island itself. Now, Komodo Island has around 4,000 to 5,000 Komodo dragons living on the island. There we go, so you can see her eating. You're gonna get the last piece? Is there one more bit in there, Caitlin? You can see that? There we go. And lucky last piece. Perfect. Now, that amount of food might be able to sustain Daenerys for a fairly short period of time. We'll probably give her a much larger feed, maybe another couple of weeks. So really, that's just something a little bit different. Usually we wouldn't feed the Komodo dragons out on the walk, but we wanted to show you a little bit of behavioural differences, particularly when they're out like that. But you can see right now, even the fact that she's eaten, I can still give her a pat on the back there. She's not threatened by me at all. The keepers that work with these Komodo dragons have built a very strong relationship with them. We work very, very closely with them, which allows us to get as close as we do. Obviously, wild Komodo dragons would behave a little bit differently to the one we're encountered today because she spent her time in and around zookeepers. So her whole life she's been living with us. She's been well looked after. She knows that we feed her, but she also knows that we're the ones that take her out on her daily exercise, which I just think's really, really cool. All right, I think we're going to move this last box if that's okay, Brando. Thanks, mate. Get you. You've got to show off that big, beautiful head of yours. As I said, now you're going to get a good shot of that tongue going, and we're back to our walk now. So now that the food's gone, she's going to start walking around. Now, that foraging behaviour, that movement, it keeps their muscles really strong. Obviously, it's great for their bones. So the idea of these lizards is to keep them nice and fit, keep them nice and active, and then hopefully we're going to have really long-lived, happy, and healthy Komodo dragons, most importantly. And you can see the body shape of this lizard. It's a very fit animal, just a great species to work with. There we go, Caitlin over there.
Yeah, do you want to start answering some questions?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. What do they eat in the wild?
So in the wild, they're going to feed on any medium to large mammal. They'll feed on goats, they'll feed on water buffalo, they'll feed on other lizards potentially. So there's even footage of them predating on dead sea turtles. So sea turtles that have come to shore, that have passed away of natural causes. There's a really famous video of a giant male Komodo dragon walking down, I think, Komodo Island itself along the beach with a sea turtle shell stuck to his head. So they will really feed on anything they can come across. If it looks like meat and it smells like meat, they're going to eat it.
How fast can they move?
Yeah, pretty quick actually. So when they're really, really small, they're obviously a lot more agile and they can move quite quickly. So you're talking about a maximum speed of around 14 kilometres. Now, in perspective for us, you can almost very easily out-jog an adult Komodo dragon, or at least outrun an adult Komodo dragon. And they are a little bit different to other reptiles too, because they can sustain that burst for a fairly extended period of time in comparison to other reptiles, but they're certainly not going to chase down a normal, fully fit adult. But in saying that, what they rely on more would be ambush. So you could imagine you're on the side of a walking trail, a goat's coming past, the Komodo dragon very quickly runs out, grabs that goat on the leg. Now, their teeth are designed to slice. So you could imagine if you're a goat, you're walking through the bush, Komodo dragon grabs you on the leg, causes a really large open wound. What's most likely going to happen is you're going to bleed to death. So also too, when they bite, they are venomous. So when they bite the animal, the venom will inhibit the ability for the blood to clot, causing more blood loss, then of course, again, increases your chances of dying, and that's how they will take down something even as large as a water buffalo.
How big are they when they're born?
Tiny. So if you've ever seen a little lace monitor, which is our beautiful Australian native species, very closely related to the Komodo dragon, they look very similar to a lace monitor. Now, they're only about, not including their tail, about this long when they hatch out of an egg. So they are quite small, but over a period of time, they grow extremely large. We're looking at a Komodo dragon that's 8 years of age now. In another, say, 4 to 5 years, she'll be a little bit larger than we're looking at right now, but it's the males that obviously grow extremely large, so their growth rate is a little bit different to a female's.
Do they walk it every day?
We walk our Komodo dragons every day, and the reason for that is we want to keep them, obviously it's great enrichment, but also too, it keeps them very muscular and fit and healthy, just like they would walk out in the wild.
Are they only found on Komodo Island?
Yeah, so there's a few islands that Komodo dragons are found on. Komodo Island is the most famous one, but there's also Flores on the western side, Ilamontang, and Rincha Island. So they're the main island populations of your Komodo dragon.
Are they endangered?
Yes, unfortunately, well, they are considered threatened and endangered, and the reason for that, majority of their population is only found on one island. So habitat loss and fragmentation of that island, but of course too, the risk of a natural disaster. If you could imagine if you had one big natural disaster that wipes out a large percentage of their population, because they're only found in really one or two small areas, that could be quite catastrophic for this particular species.
Can they swim?
They are excellent swimmers. In saying that, they're a bit lazy. They prefer to walk, to be honest, but you put them in water, they tuck their back legs back and they move just like a crocodile. They're excellent swimmers.
Maybe one last question, Dan. Why do they stick their tongues out?
Yeah, so they use that tongue, basically it's a sensory organ. So they flick the tongue out, they pick up scent particles on the end of their tongue, and you can imagine why we'd use that. If you're an animal that feeds on dead animals, great for smelling dead animals. If you're an animal that wants to avoid being predated on, great way to know if there's any predators around, maybe a really big lizard. Also too, for breeding. If you're a male Komodo dragon, great way to be able to sense where a female is, but also too, if you're a female, great way to know where all the big boys are as well. All right, she's taking me on a massive walk, so I'm going to keep moving with her. We're going to stay out for a little bit longer. We hope you enjoyed our Komodo dragon walk and feed, something a little bit different. Beautiful, beautiful lizards, and we hope you've been enjoying all of our live streams. We can't wait to see you back at the Reptile Park very, very soon. Have a lovely and safe weekend. See you next time.